I'd like to know about your musical background. Did you always know that music would be your calling?
Nope.
What did you feel it would be?
I don't know.
So as a youth, you just kind of maybe lived your life day to day, never really knowing.
Yep, but didn't even plan for it. Didn't even think about working. Didn't even plan for even making any money. Didn't even plan for even not having any.
Now you picked up the bass around what age?
12.
Now what prompted you to pick up the bass at 12?
My father.
Was he a bass player?
Nope.
He told you to play bass?
Nope. He went and bought one. And he played harmonica, and he played harmonica like this. He played harmonica like he started playing, and then it'd make you close your eyes. And then when you closed your eyes and opened them, he'd have the harmonica in his pocket, and you'd still hear it.
And when you look back on your legacy, do you take the word legend lightly? Do you see that as yourself, or
Nope.
You don't at all?
Mm-mm. I don't think anybody even in the group is even attracted to the fact of being associated or even influenced by the fact of being any type of legend, because of the fact they'd be more serious about it.
Right. I mean, it's just music all the way, regardless if it's...
Nope. I think they'd be more serious about it and more committed.
Now, how do you feel about the Lowrider Band and where it's headed these days?
You really want to know? No, you don't.
Okay. Well, do you still enjoy playing the music?
No, occasionally. I'd rather stay at home.
How about playing like something new?
I'd rather stay at home. I find my joy in creating my songs, putting them in a box, and then locking the box up so nobody can get in it.
Why wouldn't you want anybody listening to your songs?
Because I'm committed. I'm totally committed to myself and what I write and what I feel about it. And I'm strongly committed. But I don't think these people that I hang around, besides my Uncle Howard, are committed, are even excited, are influenced, are involved enough to want to even be committed to it and want to even involve themselves with it and 100%. And then they bring other motherfuckers around and they're fucked up too. And they, and they're fucked. And then they bring their fucked up shit along with it. And it really fucks up the situation.
Now, your Uncle Howard, so all you guys go way back, so all you guys are...
I was 12 years old, Howard was 15, and my cousin Jack came out with a guitar, and he showed Howard how to play. He showed me how to play one song, and then from that he said, you got to be tuned to play. And from that we were tuned to play. There were certain rules to do it. Then there were certain rules to try to make it. Then there were certain rules to believe in to try to make it after you did that. Then there was a certain type of attitude that you would have after making it, being tuned up, having the attitude to try to make it, and then being influenced enough to have people around you that would have heart enough to be involved enough to add to it instead of taking away, subtracting.
Now, do you feel looking back, do you still take a lot of that brotherhood with you, like the humble roots, the beginnings? Is that still in your heart?
When I get in with these motherfuckers that come around and they dilute it. They dilute it. Maybe we want to say motherfucker and things like that on tape when I'm not supposed to. But I don't give a fuck. Because that's what I'm dedicating it to. Them motherfuckers who come around because they're full of shit.
Yeah.
What BB means by other motherfuckers is the corporate.
No, I don't. No. I mean, these motherfuckers right here. Yep. Maybe not you, but that motherfucker, him right there. Let's see, not you, because you've been who you are. You ain't never changed. I never met these guys right here. But a little idiot, it's not him, because he ain't like that. So now you know. So fuck you too. Because I don't give a fuck. You want to fight? I can fight. I can fight like you wouldn't believe. If you don't want to fight, I cannot fight like you want to believe.
So, I mean, I guess we pretty much covered everything.
Yep. That's the way I feel about it. Yeah. That's right. That's the way I feel about it. That's what I do. That's why I do it. I let them know. You put me on film, I let you know. Fuck you. Fuck what you about. And fuck off. Put that on tape.
the sky, starry-eyed. Hey, searching for the place, weary-eyed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Crying in the night. La, la, la. Wonder when I'll find happiness, a paradise that would be nice. Somewhere there's a home, yeah, sweet and nice. Yes, I know. Wonder when I'll find happiness. And I guess let's give it up. La, 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 I guess. It's true.
We have a hell of a group here. We have now. The band is called Lowrider.
Yeah, the Lowrider Band. They're going to be at Yoshi's tonight and tomorrow night.
But my question to you is, I look at you guys, I think of the band War. Okay? No, like, get the microphone. Why? What happened? Who screwed you guys? Well, don't even give me names. Why are you guys not using the name War?
songs like that, under the name of what you just said.
Yeah.
We wrote just all the guys sitting right here.
World is a Ghetto,
The Forbidden
Lowrider,
Name.
Cisco Kid,
It's like the Lambada.
All
You can't say it.
All Day Music.
All Day Music.
Slipping Into
So
Darkness?
this group right here, we wrote all those songs, and the guys that are playing under the other name, let them play what they do, but they're like a big giant cover band.
They're a karaoke band.
Karaoke's not even a good word. But if you want to save your money, come and see us tonight at Yoshi's.
At Yoshi's. You guys are there
come and see the
tonight
real
and
band.
tomorrow night as well, right?
Right.
I'll be at the punchline 8 and 10 o'clock. Tomorrow night too.
We going to
Come to
Yoshi.
the Lowrider Band
We
site.
going to Floaties.
MySpace. Lowrider Band.
We will come down and see you too. You can sing feet.
Guys.
Oh, there it is.
What's our name is?
It begins in San Pedro, California, we guess, back in the early 60s, prior to when I first met Harold Brown. I was 15, 16 years old, rather than, the 30-year-old guys I'm normally playing with. So we had something in common. He played drums, I played guitar, but he was going to Long Beach Poly High School and I was going to Compton High School. We were both in high school. So we started talking, I guess, what we could do and, like putting a band together. So next thing I knew, Harold Brown came up to my mother's house with a guy by the name of George Brown, and we started talking and we formed a band called The Creators. Straight high school guys, man. We didn't have a clue about where we wanted to go. All we really wanted to do was play music. We knew how to play a couple of really good songs together. Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs. Some crazy songs, but we started playing in high school. So we formed a band called The Creators. And The Creators went all the way through high school until I was drafted into the service. And The Creators turned into The Night Shift, which is like the band we had with Deacon Jones. The Night Shift was a band we had when we met Eric Burdon, Jerry Goldstein, and Lee Oscar. That band turned into Eric Burdon and War.
Eric Burdon and myself met at this jam thing, and then we found out about this band down, in North Hollywood, playing at what was called back then the Ragdoll. And the Ragdoll, that's when you've heard the story before, when Eric and I walked in and Deacon Jones, the football player, was doing his singing debut, and then after his set with the band, I jumped up on stage and I played with the band. They were called Night Shifts. And then the next day, that's the history.
Let it shine, baby, let it shine. Put your hand in mine.
The Eric Burdon and War Band was fearless, creative, and the energy we put into Eric Burdon and War was straight creativity. All the arrangements, the solos, the energy, the harmonies, just building this whole act with Eric Burdon was a very creative part of being War.
Were you popular?
Oh, he was, but we were just making our mark. We were just making our mark as a band. That was a hot band. So I guess when we got to the point when Eric Burdon, I don't know how he didn't show up for a gig in England. I don't know what happened, that he was a no-show, but we had to go on stage in a club. We were on a tour with Eric Burdon and War, where Eric wasn't there. So that was the first time we had to become War, and I wasn't ready for it. Me personally, I was very secure playing with Eric Burdon. Loved playing with Eric Burdon. To go out and play a show as War was totally taken by surprise, and we had to go on in this club that was expecting Eric Burdon. It was in northern England, I guess. But I remember they told the audience that Eric Burdon was not gonna perform And if they wanted their money back, they could have their money back. But the band War was going to perform. And so we went out there and took songs that we played in the Creators. Because we didn't have a set for War yet. How could we? We couldn't play Eric Burden of War songs. So we had to go back and take songs that we played in the Creators and the Night Shift and come together with songs that we were comfortable with to get out there and perform it. We did it, and people were like blown away. Yeah.
And is that where War started without Eric Burden, kind of?
Pretty much so. But I think the whole general idea was that War was becoming such a powerhouse group behind Eric that someone in the record company said, listen, Eric is fine, but the future is going to be with these guys right here on their own, War. So the push was, after that was, I think that planted the seed, but the push was to get War out there as a solo act.
Well, the Lowrider Band came about, we started kicking around. Once Howard Scott was no longer with that group War, and Lee was not there, BB wasn't there, and then I was touring, with the War. And one of my last shows was done here in San Francisco. And yeah, and Carlos Santana was on the show, was Mayor Brown. I think the mayor at that time was Brown, Willie Brown, of the mayor of San Francisco. And that night was my last night because we were sitting in a circle and I could feel, the tension around it. It was just not for me. And besides, without Lee Oscar there or Howard Scott or B.B. Dickerson, and then Charles Miller, he went on to, get his rewards, and Papa D get his, meet his maker. I just thought it would be good just to take a leave, just leave that situation.
it didn't start off as a lowrider band. It started off as a war band, and then it turned into a lowrider band.
Oh, so you guys actually started off as like, we're war?
We war, yeah.
Pick it up, yeah. Then the injunction came. Oh, cease and desist. Can't use that name anymore.
Well, why couldn't you use the name?
Because Jerry Goldstein won the name in a court battle. I don't want to say money talks, but I'll say money talks. Somehow convinced the judge that he was war, and then 7 people who were playing the music were just hired studio musicians. The judge awarded him the name.
That's right.
Right. What you doing back there in the corner, man? Hiding. Oh. Yeah, I did. I'm like,
Hey, you guys got it.
oh, that's quite all right.
You just gave me that
He enjoyed it.
That's me. Oh, let's see. I was gonna put was war, but that means war.
I had came up with a plan, and initially in my plan, the business plan was to name the group MIA, Missing in Action. I had a whole budget on how, to go and how we were going to record a new album, redevelop the group. And at that time, I had met up with our former producer, Jerry Goldstein. And when I had met up with Jerry Goldstein, someone had told him my intentions. And I said, I want to get the original group back together. So then when I went after the original group, he looked at me and he said, well, I'd like the original group back together myself. I said, well, you can't do it. I can't. Too much water under the bridge. So then I told him MIA, and he says, well, I'll sue you. Conflict of interest. Unfair competition. Well, at that point, I knew right then if we named ourselves shit or whatever, he was going to bother us. He just didn't want it. I knew the ultimate thing, he didn't want to see the surviving members playing together in any form.
The thing is that the Lowrider Band is the Lowrider Band, and I guess word of mouth, however it got out to people over the years, Lonnie Jordan's band has been coming in playing war for years, for probably 12 years. And we've been struggling with the Lowrider Band, and all from this time here, the word is getting out that the Lowrider Band has 4 guys that were in the original war band. Myself, Howard Scott, B.B. Dickerson, Harold Brown, and Lee Oscar. And the music that we play is true. It's hardcore, it's real, and it's the music that the people really, really want to hear. Now, they've been hearing a lot of it played by another band, but when they hear this band play it, they say, oh, I see the difference. I see the difference. This is like night and day. We play. Well, let me rephrase it. How could it not be right when, I'm in this band, Lowrider Band. You got it, Howard Scott, B.B. Dickerson, Lee Oscar. We wrote this shit.
Gentlemen, act like you're in church. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Yeah. Holy Spirit. New Orleans. Way down, gentlemen. You feel that? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? We came to entertain you. And to make you smile. Brother, you've been smiling all night. Where's my sleeping lady at? She's woke now.
That's the Lee Oscar money right there. Hey,
Got a deflated Lee Oscar balloon right there.
well, that's.
How's that?
Is Humson?
Huh?
Yeah.
What's the owner's name? What's the owner of the store's name?
You like that, Lee Oscar?
Hello, buddy. Oh, you look good. You look good. They're doing a documentary, right?
Oh, great.
And you know,
Younger, now you look older, of course.
they're doing a documentary. And, you know, I first came to Haight-Ashbury on the streets, right?
The store started in 1972.
Oh, how long have you known each other?
Well, since I started
Actually,
manufacturing, I was in
here
83, 84.
I've only been here since 1980.
Oh, since 1980.
Yeah, it was two different stores. The names were different. So first was acoustic music for 4 years. Then it was chickens that sing music for 4 years. And I came in 1980 and I changed the name to Haight-Ashbury Music. And then the lead used to come here and give seminars.
And we got to do another one.
Yeah, is that okay? So you probably want to go along.
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
Then you'll
I
sell
love
more,
war.
Then you'll sell more harmonicas.
I'll sell all your harmonicas, even the deflated one. How's that?
He likes to sell, don't he? You got the right guy to sell. Just make sure he tells the right stories, okay? Because he'll say anything.
Yeah. Oh, you put my name wrong. Man, oh no, you got it right. Okay, just make sure.
All right, listen, guys. How are we doing on harmonicas?
Pretty good. Really good, man. We have.
I want to make sure, from a methodical standpoint, to come out with a real good live album, and perhaps even the stuff from Yoshi's, but live album of the stuff that we want to make sure everybody realizes that the Lowrider Band are the same guys who were called War before. For that reason, and loving to play Lowrider, Cisco Kid, and all that, and I could never get tired of playing because we played different every time. I think that might be something, just a smart thing to come out with an album, a real good album with great mixes, live of the Lowrider Band now playing our great tunes. As we are continuing, not closing the book, because that part of me there is the same part of me now continuing.
Because see, right now, what's going on with that WAR folks over there, they're stuck. Because all they're doing is going in a big old circle and they're digging themselves a rut. Because see, they're not growing anything, they're not writing anything. Because if they were, our former partner and keyboard player, and by the way, I have no malice against Lonnie Jordan. I love him. I love him like a brother. I mean, you can disagree with somebody, and I don't want to see anything happen. I don't want anything happening to Goldstein. I want Goldstein to stay alive till we get our money. That's to you, Goldstein. I'm serious, bro. I have no problem with you. You know that. Except my money.
We did the war thing better than anybody, but once Charles Miller left, Papa D. Allen left, and you're scattering around. There's 5 of us still here, and Lonnie Jordan's in war, 4 of us in the Lowrider Band. So I think it's just a new beginning. We have new music, we have new energy, and we can't revisit that war name, because we've done that. So the guys that are out there playing war, so be it.
these different faces now
Yeah,
happening.
Yeah, I think when that trend started right there, it went on the way till war is today. You know, the just being able to like put people in and out. Maybe we should have never did that. Maybe we should have just totally stopped. Charles Miller wanted to stop at that point. He said, hey, listen, this is not, with BB out of the band, start with that. With BB not in the band, he wasn't going to be in the band with Luther Rabb. He didn't think that was war, and he stood on principles that wasn't going to be war, and maybe that's one of the reasons that Charles got killed, because he was like out there by himself. He didn't have the band to be around him. It was be like a shield, you know, that camaraderie. He was out there by himself, and he just got into a lot of trouble. But he thought that war would not be war unless B.B. Dickerson was there, and he wasn't there. So we had Luther Rabb to come in, Pat Rizzo, Ronnie Hammond, and that was the music band war / music band. And if you listen to the songs that we did during the music band, I think there's only maybe one song that I was satisfied with, and it had to be I'm the One That Understands. I think that came in during the music band period, and everything else was, you know, pretty hard for me to just like wrap my hands around and do any writing, because I just didn't feel it. I just wasn't vibing on that very well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're the kind of people that we live or do or die. We live for our music. That's it. It's not a hobby and we're going to see how well we're going to do at it, and then we'll be responsible people later. We're responsible from the get-go, doing what we love. And so when somebody falls off, and we have this institution, if you will, this camp that we play together, we're going to make it work with what we got left. And even stronger, dedicated to Charles Miller, dedicated to Papa D. Allen.
And those who don't make mistakes, they don't succeed. So here we are. I got Lance Ellis over there on your right on saxophone. I got Lee Oscar right there, my homeboy, my homie, on harp. And Funk Master over here in that blue shirt with number 7. You know, 7 is God's number. B.B. Dickerson. Over here on percussion, we got Chuck Farmer. And to my immediate right, I got Keith Burnett, New Orleans. And my brother, Howard, is 2 days older than me. My big brother, Howard E. Scott. And yours truly, down right here on the drums, Harold Brown.
kind of nice, huh? Damn, those some good-looking guys. They look like they wrote those songs, don't they? And Howard Scott in the driver's seat, B.B. Dickerson riding shotgun, and we got the backup. Don't get no better than that, though. You know who we are? The Lowriders.
I'll be back to work. But who thought that, you know, that playing this music that you would get #1 records? You would get TV shows, you'd get people knowing your name around the world, that you would become very famous. That is what happened to us. And it came fast. Fast. Money was flying at us, fame. And, you know, you have to be really equipped to handle that type of fame and notoriety when it comes to you. And the age we were coming, we were young, open to the fact that everybody around us that said they loved us didn't love us. Business people around us that were looking out for our interests were not looking out for their interests, they're looking out more so for themselves. You get yourself in a lot of trouble because all the things that you're planning for, you have somebody really planning for themselves. So you think you got this whole family unit going on. We're going to be in this thing like a football team, right? Well, find out that the coach is really not on your side when you look at the whole thing. That he's out here making plays for himself. So financially, you're being set up to fail. And pretty much so that's kind of what happened to war.
Then all of a sudden, transitional things started happening within their own organization. I'm the young generation just coming into something that was already established from the very beginning. But each member probably had been exiled out of that group at some point in time. But now we've come together tenfold, right back around to one. Reborn Lowrider Band because of all the negative energy that I call negative energy, courts. I don't deal in courts. I don't deal in the negatives. It's about to be a positive vibe for a positive approach to going in the right direction. I'm not defending anything. I'm not opposed to wrong or right or whatever, but let's do it what we have to do to make it one chord, one energy, one love, one music for the people. So now the war is on the side. You never can take away the legacy of legends, of guys that wrote legendary hit songs as Lowrider and Why Can't We Be Friends, and all those good hit songs. But now we've reborn into a new generation, new time, new people, the Lowrider Band. War was no longer, war no more. That's the done deal.
Yeah.
For this group of people, if Lonnie and Jerry want to carry that name on, that's fine with me.
So be it.
Lonnie Jordan was a very good keyboard player, but as far as lyrics go, he never contributed to the fabric of writing hit songs. He didn't do that. He could play piano, and that's what he does. So with him and a bunch of guys that don't even have any relationship to like the songs that we wrote that are going to call themselves War and Be War, you're getting me excited. That's not right. So with Lonnie and Jerry, you said calling themselves War, that's not war. That's not war, that's a name war. That's taking the people that made this and making them not important. What you have is a logo, the 3 fingers, the letters. You say, this is important, and we're going to promote the word war. So when people go to the show, they say, oh, war is going to be here. All the songs and everything they think they're going to get the people that did this, you're not getting that. I think the people that are really losing are the people that pay the money to go see Lonnie's band.
The only thing I'm upset about, if you see there's a lot of upset in me, and that is that as an artist, more important than even money, is as an artist, the greatest reward is to be acknowledged for the works you do. And when I see people on that stage with Lonnie getting credit or taking credit, soaking it in, want to pretend that they're actually the original guys, and getting all these gigs that we are stopped from even making a living. We can't even say formally of war. And yet these people that never even created the stuff can be imposters up there pretending to be us. I mean, signing autographs. Someone else say, gee, my parents used to love your music and I've grown up in your music. And the person will say, oh, geez, you're welcome, thank you very much. Instead of saying, well, that's very nice, the war did some great music, and I'm really privileged that I can be part of this legendary band, of this contribute band, or whatever, you know. But you see, nobody's allowed to put themselves in that pocket. The only thing they have as a guideline, because of Jerry's bullshit, is to pretend to be something they're not. And that's what upsets me.
We're in the Tides room at the Lodge of the Golden Gate, and beautiful vistas out the windows, fireplaces at the ends of the room. And what could be better than having the Lowriders with us here today on West Coast Live? The Lowrider Band, Howard Scott, Lee Oskar, B.B. Dickerson, Harold Brown, Lance Ellis, Chuck Barber, and Keith Finney. And they're at Yoshi's tonight. Howard, what do you got for us?
One of our signature songs that's known around the world, and it's our pleasure to play for you a song that we recorded in the world called Why Can't We Be Friends?
All right. Good question.
Great one.
How do you move on, continue to play war material on stage?
Number one, that's not war material. That material is Howard Scott's material, B.B. Dickerson's material, Lee Oskar's material, Sylvester Papa D. Allen's material, Charles Miller's material, Lonnie Jordan's material, and my material. That ain't even war. That music belongs to us. When you look on there, yeah, they try to say written by war, bullshit. When you really look at it, it says Harold Brown, Lee Oskar. That's our music. Because if it was war material, then why ain't war making more?
When we started off, it was family. We're family. We're family. We're gonna do this family. I believe that. I would go into this thing trusting that, hey Mom, guess what? I met this guy named Jerry Goldstein. We're gonna make $1 million. He's gonna make us like we're going to be very wealthy, we're going to be rich, we're going to have one of the best bands in the world. Well, half of that was true.
It's sort of like, you know, you have a loved one and you trust them. You've had these kids together and stuff, and then all of a sudden they just do you wrong. I'm not talking about going out and getting a little nookie on the side or whatever. I'm talking about violated your bond together, your family, you know, the kids. Take the kids away and take your kids and then run off and go live somewhere else you don't know where and you don't have access to your kids. That's how we feel. Our music and stuff that we wrote and we created has been taken from us, and our identity has been taken from us. Our family name has been taken from us, and then we're sort of like the stepkids in the big house stuck in the closet somewhere.
Then we can always come on stage and play Sticking in Darkness because Howard and them wrote that song. We can play Lowrider because Wall wrote that song. Now we're going to play some new music from Lowrider Band.
We do
introduce it that way.
We do a tune that's called 9 to 5. That we actually all created together.
Right.
So, and it has the same flavor. When we play it, people will say, you know what? If they never heard or saw the people who were playing it, say, you know what? That music kind of sounds like the old group. You know, it's familiar. It's very familiar. You know, and that I think is a testimony to how well we incorporate the influences from the past into what we do now.
we were living on my grandmother's prayers. We didn't even pray when we started out. We didn't even pray. My grandmother was praying for us. She had prayed for us, and the people before her. We didn't even stop and pray. We didn't even pray. Now we do. Together? We thought the producers we met and the people that we were meeting through them were the prayers that were pushing us through, and it was a total misunderstanding. Talking about whatever names you were mentioning about whatever those people, I'm not mad at them. I don't have any animosity. I see them. I don't want to get them. You know, and like that. I want the vehicles that we have available to get them. You know, as far as law and what's right and what's wrong, and whatever I have at my disposal that I can come into and have wholehearted belief in that vehicle, like the law. And that's the law of man. The difference between the law of man and the law of the Most High who created all this is a difference in the reference to that. So I prayed to him now, and we prayed to him before we go on stage. We never did that, but never, ever did we pray together. Now we do, and that's very significant.
Yeah, it is.
You okay?
Were things moving so fast back then with all your hits that, I mean, you had no time for religion or anything. I mean, just things are moving so fast, so many hits. I mean, do you have time even to look yourself in the mirror and find out who you are?
Daniel, I was in Hawaii working. I was working with a group called the Soul Checks. Okay, and I had a dream the night before Howard called me to ask me, but he didn't call me. He called one of the guys in the group because I didn't have a telephone. But you know, my girlfriend didn't want a telephone because her boyfriend worked for the group, and I was living anyway. This and that way you can cut off communication. So they called the organ player and told him, hey, they want to get in touch with you. So I talked to Howard, and he said, how'd you like to play with Eric Burdon? But the night before I talked to Howard, I had a dream. When I talked to Howard the next day after I talked to Howard, I was in LA. And then that dream that I had that night started, and it lasted 7 years. Every time that I would encounter something significantly, it wasn't like deja vu. I knew I had seen it in the dream, and I didn't know how long the dream was, but it lasted 7 years that night. But it lasted 7 years in real time, straight. Just
War, which consisted of Lee, Howard, B.B., Harold, Lonnie, Papa D, Charles Miller. They did that better than anybody on the planet. They was authentic. That was the original music. Correct. I understand that. In my understanding. So to move forward for Lowrider Band, all we have to do, in my humble opinion, is go to the studio, create some Lowrider music, and be done with that. We can still play songs those guys wrote, and then we can incorporate Lowrider Band's music and introduce that to the people in the public, because that's who we are today. I'm not talking about 200 years ago. I'm not talking about, 40 times slavery. I'm not talking about no Jerry Gold, whatever that is. That's the issue. That was an issue. Now you got to work toward something positive, and that's new music for the new band named Lowrider Band.
Regardless of how sad it may seem, and we got the raw end and all this stuff, and I wouldn't want anybody to have pity on anything, and we'll get whatever we earned. But meantime, till that day comes, I'll never be disappointed, because I'm doing what I love doing, and I'm doing it honestly. It's what we do is real.
How you go again, Lee?
Huh?
How you go again?
It's like the nose.
Oh,
In the verse.
They told us 5 minutes. It's not 5 minutes and went by. My breath stinks.
Start again.
Great. On a rocket ship, no time to wait. Wait. I just want to gravitate. Think about the way that you can
It's outside,
it's outside, it's gone. It's gone. It's out of sight. It's out of sight.
What?
It's out of sight. It's out of sight. It's gone. It's gone.
Thank you so much. We love you out there. Thank you, San Francisco, Oakland, the Bay Area. Thank you much. Love you. Be safe. See you real soon.
Give it for Lowrider Band.
Thank you. It was very insightful.
Oh, did you get the camera off yet?
No. No, it's still on.
Okay.
You got something to say?
Yeah, don't believe anything I just said. Believe yourself. Believe in yourself. Before you believe anybody, believe and then verify it. Then come back to me if you have any question about it, because I don't want to be responsible for what I even just told you. Because I don't know anything. I want to be responsible for what I just told you, but I don't want to be responsible for what you know about what I said. And it's funny, but anyway, it's really, really exciting.